So you're an expert at having haters. How do you deal with haters?
Oh man, many different ways. Probably the most effective for me personally is just thinking they're having a bad day. It kind of removes the sting from the comment, and then it lets you in your own mind just kind of dismiss it altogether. Because if you think about it, they have to be having a bad day. Because if you're having a good day, you're not online leaving random hater comments.
Right.
Like, I could never even imagine myself doing that, but especially not if I'm having a great day. You know, day where your energy is just good. It's peachy.
Right. Everything's going your way.
It's like you're floating. You're having a great day. Yeah, nobody having a day like that is hating on someone else. So they have to be having a bad day. So then if they're having a bad day, do they really mean what they say, or is it just coming from that place of a bad mood?
Right. And maybe they have a bad life.
Ooh.
Like maybe like they have a
series of bad days.
Yeah, it's just like one perpetual long bad day. Like they were born in a bad situation and just it kept getting worse.
Okay, I was gonna say I could kind of relate to that because I've had bad stretches that last years. Like every day's a bad day.
Bad existence.
But you said born in a bad situation. I wasn't born in a horrible situation, but I've had bad years, consecutive years.
That's a long bad day.
It could be in a spot like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So just thinking about that, just kind of no. They said what they said. Who cares?
Yeah. It softens the blow because
it does.
Yeah. It's like it doesn't. I mean. I don't know. It does. I feel you. It doesn't feel the same when someone's down on their luck and they're like insulting you. It's not the same as when somebody that you're aspiring to be like is insulting you or something. You know what I mean? To that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well.
Like when that homeless person called you the N-word hard off. You didn't really get offended by that.
I almost felt like, just desserts. Like I almost felt
what?
Because she was on a bench and her feet were sticking out from under a blanket, and I felt like, oh, no one's gonna cuddle her feet tonight. They're gonna be cold, sticking out. And I was looking at her feet like with emotion. You know what I mean? So
were they like, pretty or something?
No.
Okay, so what were you doing to her feet?
I was just wishing them well. You know what I'm saying? I was just wishing for her to have someone to cuddle and tickle her feet, and she probably felt the energy I was throwing at her, and she was like, get away from me, you N-word. And I was like, I was being weird, like maybe she wanted crusty feet that nobody touched in decades.
I mean, I was just agreeing with you that if someone's down on their luck, it doesn't sting the same.
Yeah.
I have some comments though, because another thing I used to do with the hater comments, I used to post them in Discord. And then everybody else would kind of like gang up on the person. Not like actually go reply to the comment.
Yeah.
But in Discord, they would reply like going off on the person. And so that was kind of cool. It's like, and a bunch of people were confirming this person's crazy and they're having a bad day.
Yeah.
But here's a comment for you. Brad, Lex is a cool and beautiful person, but you come across as an ignorant, judgmental prick when you are speaking on Tupac lyrics. It's almost as if you are talking down on Tupac, who most likely died before your uppity tight A was born. Tupac was a direct and precise rapper. Even a 5-year-old could understand what Tupac was saying. How about you just shut your mouth and listen, look in the mirror. You are not as smart as you think you are. It's sad that social media gives fools like you a voice. P.S. Brad, how about shutting your mouth and allow Lex to speak without interruption, or you correcting her? P.S. Lex, you can do so much better. I don't know if this is your gay best friend or your boyfriend. Dang. Run as soon as you can. This clown is going to try to control you and not respect you. Go read the comments under your Tupac reactions. No one likes this negative talking, big mouth clown Brad. You can do better.
Dang.
They went off. That was a DM. Wasn't even a comment.
Dang. That's personal.
Yeah, it was. Are you supposed to read the comments section, then decide who you marry, divorce, or whatever?
Right?
Like, that is insane.
Like some random person it's like, I don't even know you. That's not even a person that we talk to regularly.
No.
Like, that's just a random.
It was a random first-time messenger.
Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of, it's not, it's weird to think about the mental state to come up with these things. Like he's sitting there, ooh, big mouth. Ooh, I'm gonna call you a clown. Ooh, I'm gonna say you heard GBF. Like, it's like
Tupac fans hate me.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Well, you just didn't do what most people do
I
with
didn't
Tupac.
go, oh, dang, bars.
Yeah, and you didn't like it, really. You know?
I'm not a fan. That's fair to say.
So, I mean, most people are like, that's cold, it's deep. He talk about the community. He's taking us there. You know what I mean? He understands.
I felt like
Got
he
roots on
was
the
just
ground.
selling people, on what they wanted to hear.
He
I
was
feel
an
like his
excellent
actions
marketer,
and what he was singing and rapping about,
right?
they didn't really add up.
And when you do like research and stuff, it's like he did do like ballet and like he was definitely more like artist than street hood thug,
Yeah, but also like he would have songs talking about we have to protect black women, praise black women, whatever, da da da. But then you also have songs calling black women the B word. So it's like, I don't know. I was not a fan.
Maybe he
this
was
person,
conflicted.
okay, well that's cute, but then I don't have to act like this person is God rapping.
Yeah.
So I would get a lot of haters because I would just say my honest opinion and like lyrically, I don't know, people loved it. It just wasn't my cup of tea.
Isn't it kind of funny how like you get the most haters when you're just being your real honest self?
Yeah.
Like in general in life, like the most people won't like you in a social scenario if you're just being your real honest self.
Yeah, but I told him what he wanted to hear in Tupac reactions. Then he would be singing my praises.
Yeah.
Well, here's another one. Where the F y'all from?
Okay.
Use an N-word and don't know about Pac? WTF? Y'all N-words gotta be shame of y'all selves.
Okay.
So, I mean, how you do with a comment like that?
I mean,
I just literally laugh.
The cultural depth is just like, I don't know. Until we started listening to all this music, I didn't realize how like sort of shallow a lot of my personal culture is. Like just, I don't even know who my great grandparent was. Like I can't even tell you 100 years back anything. You know what I mean? Like what they ate, what they listened to, where they lived even. I don't know. So, I mean, it's just like, that's such a like, it's so deep, but it's like on the grand scheme of things, like it's really not that deep.
It really isn't.
It's like, it's interesting. I personally like Tupac, that kind of music, but it's more because it's interesting. And
you like the sound or the lyrical content?
I like the art. You know what I mean? The combination.
So like how you feel when you listen to it?
Sure. I like more like going to a museum. I like studying it.
Yeah, no, I think it's interesting. I'd be down to listen to do Tupac reaction any day of the week, except I know not to do those. I actually have done some recently. I don't think I published them, and I just didn't say anything.
Oh.
And I know better.
Yeah.
I know what that's going to get me.
You're just going to piss people off.
Yeah, it's just going to piss people off. And that's not really what I'm trying to do on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just not do it. Or if I do it, I'm not going to hype it up and be like, oh, this is the best thing ever. Because then I would feel cheesy like I'm fake.
Right.
I would just try and find something to talk about that's not going to piss everyone out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, dang. So this is what y'all was doing on the West Coast. Okay, this is that West Coast energy. I see you. I see you, cuz. Okay, hitting the little West Coast dance moves. I see you, Tupac. Yeah. Say something like that without actually saying whether I like it or don't like it or talking about the lyrics at all. I think I said some stuff
it
about
is stylish.
I
will
don't
say.
know what
that
I said about Tupac lyrics.
Of music is very stylish.
I was just shocked because I had heard so much positive stuff about Tupac. And then, because I didn't really listen to Tupac growing up. And then when I heard the lyrics, it was shocking. It was like, it just felt like selling people pipe dream, like telling people what they want to hear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it felt like to me. I have no clue what I said. Go watch the Tupac reactions if you want to see.
Yeah. I mean, everyone has different tastes,
Okay, here's another comment for you. While she's inspired and positive about music, Brad, as usual, displays his special needs, analytical arrogance. It's sad seeing her enjoy music, only to be met with ridicule and belittling by a guy that's obviously not only ignorant, but to me, he's not a music lover. He's a downer. Get your own channel, Lex. Your inspiration is under dark negativity.
That sounds like some esoteric, like astrology,
right?
predictive.
Like I'm a demon or something.
You've got me under dark energy.
Yeah, I mean, Lex, get your own channel. That was a common thing.
It was.
I mean, thousands of comments, probably
but
literally
honestly,
thousands.
People wouldn't like it as much if we didn't have our like pushback, like this volley thing.
It depends who.
I guess.
Got another hater comment that I don't have it pulled up, but I was looking through a bunch to pull some up for this.
Yeah.
But somebody was like, how much do I have to donate for Lex to send me feet pictures? Do you think that person would like the channel better with me or without me?
Right.
There might be hundreds of thousands of people that would like it better with just you.
I might as well just have an ASMR channel where I'm just like, like I don't even know if that person's actually listening to what I'm
Like,
saying.
get what you're saying. We do have people who watch for like our back and forth, but there's probably plenty of people that would love it if you had a channel by yourself, and they would still watch. Oh, 100%. Remember people on the live stream be like, I have my Vaseline, I'm just covering up Brad's
I thought that was a
head.
joke. I thought that was a joke. That's disturbing.
There's truth in jest.
It's like, you know, you never really think about how many people's dreams you've been in, and like you never really think about these things. You know what I'm saying? Like they're in, like, you know, there's like a place in your mind where you just don't go there.
Yeah.
It's in that place. You know?
Yeah, people would love to say. I remember another comment. It was like, I just had a sexy dream about Lex last night. In the middle of a live stream, reading this. And,
And you're like,
one of those things you don't ever want to think about.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So how do you deal with haters?
I mean,
you are an expert, I'm sure.
I'm an expert now. But before, I was not an expert. I let it affect my mood. And so then I would go into live streams in a bad mood. So now I'm listening to a bunch of music in a bad mood. And how's my reaction going to be in a bad mood? This sucks.
And then those people that, like, some people that would say something negative don't even know that somebody just said something really rude to you that's like tripping you out.
Yeah,
and that's
I'm literally having a bad day.
And so and so they're saying something rude about how you're a brick or a bump on the log or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know,
and so it's just like a downward spiral.
Yeah, that's
like you read negative comments, you have a bad day. So you go do reactions in a bad mood.
Yeah.
And so now I'm going to be saying things people don't want to hear. So they're going to leave negative comments. I'm going to read the comments. I'm having a bad day. Well, another live stream, but it's a bad day for me. I'm in a bad mood. I'm saying stuff people don't want to hear.
How do you get out of that? Because you did at some point.
Got to learn how to deal with the haters.
How?
They're having a bad day.
Oh, and it's like bad day, like allergy. Like it's like bad day, like they're having a bad day virus and they want to pass it to you.
They want to pass it to me. Exactly.
Dang.
I don't want it. If you know for a fact someone's having a bad day, which you kind of have to be to say this crazy stuff I'm reading, then why would you let it get to you?
Right. Because if someone's having like even a series of bad days, well, then they're just down on their luck, and you definitely aren't sitting there like really feeling criticized by someone that's like down on their luck.
Right. Like if you know someone's just a negative person, and like you said, series of bad days, you don't really get mad at them for what they say.
Right.
But I've always done this, like with bad service at restaurants.
Yeah.
I assume the waiter's having a bad day. I know I went back to that restaurant
always, yeah.
and the waiter's having a good day. They're gonna give me good service.
Yeah.
While other people be like, oh, they're racist and this and that. I just always assume they're having a bad day.
You have always been really like I have noticed that over the years. You always like expect people to treat you well. Like even like when we sold that trailer that was like in the dude's front yard, he had Confederate flag, and you know where we're from, it's like, oh, that's scary, you know, and you guys hit it off. Like, he let you work on the trailer in his front yard.
Yeah.
And he even drove the trailer to another city when we sold it and whatever, and we paid him for it, but it was like you guys became buddies. He sent
Yeah, he
you
was super nice.
videos and texts and stuff. It was just like, you always expect people to treat you well, though.
Right. And if they don't, I just assume they're having a bad day. But I don't know why that wasn't my instant reaction on YouTube. It was different.
Yeah, right.
I would be arguing with these people all day in my head, having a horrible day. And now I'm so excited for the live stream.
Yeah.
While I'm arguing with a bunch of haters in my head, having a horrible day.
Ooh.
But then eventually when it clicked and I brought that same attitude from real life to the internet, it was like, okay, people can hate on me all day long. It doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
I got a comment about you.
What?
This is a DM. It says, Lex, you're effing retard. Just so you know, Lead Belly is a effing black man that sung the song that you criticized Nirvana about being a effing sing around the... This is so hard to read. An effing sing around the camp song. You're worth nothing. You should be off the effing air. No wonder you make no effing money, you POSB. Your husband is decent, but you're a POS. Learn your stuff. Google it before you are a poopy piece of poop artist and musician. You have no credibility. I didn't know you were...
Poopy, what does that mean?
The S word.
Oh.
You are a S-y piece of S.
Okay.
Artist and musician. You have no credibility. And if you find a rope, do what they did tell black people. And by the way, I'm Native and I have 2 biracial children. So go F yourself. There's so many typos. I'm sorry. I was reading that really weird.
Go.
Go F yourself.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm just saying, like, instead of two, the number, it's spelled T-O, and like I'm reading this.
Oh,
it was so hard to read.
they were mad.
Oh
She
my
was
goodness.
mad. She was typing, messing up and stuff because she was mad.
So how do you deal with something like this? Because you saw this comment. This is not your first time.
Yeah, it was a while ago. I haven't read that in a minute. So I guess, honestly, I always feel curiosity when somebody says something really out of pocket. Like my first instinct is always just kind of like curiosity. Like what in the world made them say that? Like why would they say that?
Do you ever come up with the answer, or you just wonder?
Sometimes. But I mean, if you have mixed children, then why would you, like, why is that on the tip of your mind? Like the first message insult to someone you don't like.
Well, they're being really racist and telling you to get a rope and do what they told black people to do.
Right.
So they're saying I have mixed children, say I'm not racist.
But then, like, if you're not racist, you wouldn't even think about that.
Exactly.
Like, it would be on the tip of your mind. The first thing you say to someone you don't like. Jeez.
Yeah.
But, I kind of think about it like that. And I guess I kind of deal with myself in a way. Like, I kind of just, I don't know, think, is this constructive criticism or are they crazy? And if they're crazy, I kind of just like brush them off.
Do you ever let it get to you?
I don't think so. But then it's like stuff sneaks up on you when you least expect it, Like you don't think it gets to you, and then you go look in the mirror and you got a little piece of acne, and you're like, oh my gosh, I wonder if anyone,
Oh,
you know
like
what I mean?
Stress
like,
breakout.
Yeah, like you kind of, or you're checking the scale or whatever. Like I don't know. I feel like it might, but not consciously.
Oh, so consciously you're like, oh, just a hater, who cares? But subconsciously it may have struck a nerve.
Yeah, you just never know, Like when we did that video with Jack meeting my mom, a lot of people in the comments just did not at all understand where I was coming from with it. And I'm like, me and my mom have had a rough relationship. That's my reality.
Yeah, but you've never talked about that.
Which I thought that was a perfect time to introduce. It's not just all peachy.
Well, yeah, but you got to expect some pushback because you just sprung it on everybody out of nowhere.
True, but it's just like, all pushback. Like I'm ungrateful and I'm just, you know what I'm saying? It's just like all kind of like not even interested in having the conversation,
Yeah, well, you know how people are. They just think whatever the title of a person is, mother, brother, sister, father.
That's true.
It means like
That's
title
true.
Mother means this person loves you unconditionally, has your best interest. Anything you say other than that is wrong.
There's
and that's
no
just not how life
pushback allowed.
is.
That
Some
is
people
really
have
true.
terrific moms. Some people have like, moms. Some people have bad moms.
Yeah.
That's life.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Cause it's like sometimes like I read those comments on that video and it kind of got to me,
Yeah.
And then I updated my pinned post on the Pink Floyd Mother video, and it's not saying anything, it's not like crazy, but it's just like after this time having Jack and all these things, I kind of look at that song a little differently, and like it's ironic and stuff. But it's like, it must have got to me subconsciously to go back and tag, like, to go and pin this comment and have.
No, yeah, that video, the comments did get to you because you were showing me a bunch of comments. You usually don't do that.
I usually don't. So I guess, subconsciously, because consciously I would have said, oh, no, comments don't get to me. But I guess they do sometimes.
Yeah.
We all have
that's a delicate situation because you obviously don't want to throw your mom under the bus.
Right.
Like, it would be just weird, like how some families air their drama out online. I don't really like that kind of thing.
Right.
So to be just like, I don't know, just to go through every issue you've ever had between you and your mom online.
Right.
That just seems low.
Right.
And like she doesn't have the same medium to tell her side of the
right.
story. And that would just be weird. So you're never going to do that.
Right.
But if you put a vlog out like that, people are going to want to know why, or they're just going to judge you for it. Like that vlog wasn't horrible.
Right. And like also being, online kind of in a way it's therapeutic. Like I think a lot of people go online and they like vent and they share their problems or they, sometimes they'll do it anonymously, but I feel like it is therapeutic to sort of like put yourself out there and not just like live in this, hi, how are you? Everything's great. Everything's fine.
Right. Like we want to be authentic, but you don't want to overshare to where it's a little tasteless.
Right.
It's like finding that happy medium. It's hard.
And then it's like, just because it's your opinion doesn't mean it's a fact. So it's like, I really want to be honest about this is my opinion. This is how I feel. And it's okay if we feel differently. even with haters, like I feel like even with people that are commenting, I want them to have their opinion. I have my opinion, and like I'm just putting mine out there. It doesn't mean I'm right, you know. But it doesn't seem to work like that. It seems like there's always attack, counterattack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Some of the stuff is just crazy though. Like some of these comments.
Yeah. I mean, like that one you just read, hanging myself. It's like,
yeah, you went a little far.
Right.
Like I don't even think you were hating on the song.
Yeah.
I think you were saying like, oh, this sounds like, a campfire song. Like, oh, you liked it.
Right. But then also the other thing is through the medium of like the internet, people can really like misinterpret and misconstrue a lot of things, you know?
Yeah.
And
But
so,
like, I guess they're just offended by your interpretation of it. But it's art. Music is art. It's open for interpretation.
Right. And then my interpretation is that it's not a fact. It's not consequential to your life. It's just my initial thoughts and opinions, which will probably change in 6 months once I'm like warmed up to the style.
Yeah. And it doesn't even matter what a song means. All that matters is what it means to you.
Right.
It's like plenty of people will take a song that could be a love song or a song about, father, son, and they'll switch it to mother, son in their mind. Are you going to tell them your interpretation's wrong? This is a father, son song, not a mother, son song. No, everyone's like, oh, that's fine. Yeah, you switch the genders and stuff.
Right.
But why can't you just take any random song? It could be about Mars, and I could be like, oh, I want to make it about Earth in my head.
Right.
Is that wrong? Is my interpretation wrong? Or is it just means something different to me? Yeah. So to me, it's just art. So whatever it means to you, it means to you. Even if that's not an accurate interpretation, why does it matter?
Right. Like Simple Man could be literally like, if you're transition from a woman to a man, then it's like you want to be like a simple man. You just want like the basic masculinity experience. You know what I mean? Well, I think this is an actual like argument that a lot of people...
I just thought you were going to say like simple woman. Like a woman could listen, be like, change the gender. I'm a simple kind of woman.
No.
And you just went all the way.
I'm saying you want to be like a simple man. You don't want to necessarily, literally like go to war and have a whole like family that you have to provide for and all. Like maybe you just want the simple, like you just want to be a little tomboyish. You know what I mean? You just want to be a little rough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to be a little masculine. You want to be a simple kind of man.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're talking about. Okay, I got another comment for you. I'm just curious as to why you would ever want to live in a trailer when I know you guys are way above that. In other words, y'all come from money.
Oh,
we come from money.
We come from money. Tell me about it.
Well, let me get some of that because
right?
I ain't ever seen it.
Right? Like what?
I'm from a single mama household.
From money.
My mom is a teacher. Okay.
You know what though?
Still works to this day.
It's probably because we are well spoken.
Am I even? I feel it literally half the time. My live streams, there's so many words I don't know what they mean.
But honestly,
I get what you're saying. We don't speak Ebonics.
But how like when you think about these things, like the person I guarantee you that makes these comments would say they're not racist. They're not. You're above that. So I'm saying you're better than that. But it's like you're judging that.
Right.
Like you're literally.
I don't think it was a racist comment. They're saying we come from money.
Okay, but I'm saying like we don't. So it's like all the assumptions there.
Right, but they don't think we come from money because we're black. So I don't think it was about race.
Yeah.
I think it's about how we carry ourselves.
But what if it's like, oh, you're well spoken, so you must come from money? Because if you weren't well spoken, that means you come from the hood, and you clearly don't come from the hood. You know what I mean? Like, what if it's all those connections and it's like just a whole bunch of like guesses about who we are and nothing accurate?
Pretty much. Like we don't come from money. We just have literate parents that speak decent English.
Yeah, both our moms are teachers.
Both
elementary school teachers.
Your dad was a butcher.
Yeah. I don't even know what your dad does. Drives trucks.
Now he's a trucker. He wasn't a trucker when I was growing up, though.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's very basic. That's odd. You come from, you're better than the trailer park. Right. Better than that. That's like the irony of telling someone they're better than their situation is like telling them their situation is beneath you.
And it's judging it. Everyone here in the trailer park.
Right.
Like these people are mostly normal, okay?
Yeah, mostly.
I mean, they did blow up the trash can the other day, 4th of July. Right. But realistically, there's a ton of good, normal people here. Right. And you have a couple bad apples, but that's almost every neighborhood.
Yeah. And it's pretty safe, and it's pretty, like, people are chill. They mind their business.
Super safe. I've left my doors unlocked to the house and the truck multiple times. Never
Yeah.
had an issue. Like, I don't do it on
Yeah.
purpose, but I've done it a couple times.
And it's like we'll be walking with Jack, and somebody might yell out their window, "Oh, y'all's a good parent. Y'all
Yes.
take care of y'all kids."
People don't value family no more. You guys are all amazing.
Right? But it's like, yeah, it might be a little broken English, but it was literally a compliment. Like, it's a good, like, they like to see that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's weird to judge people just because of how they're living. Like,
Yeah, and then some of the stuff though that happens here, it's like, okay, I get the reputation of trailer parks, like little kids walking around cussing up a storm, saying the
smoke
N-word.
420
Yeah,
in 7th grade.
there is some stuff here, so I get why people would judge it, but dang, you gonna judge the whole park and judge people, and so that's just weird.
Right? And we're supposed to take your advice. Like, that's supposed to be advice.
The same stuff that happens here happens in other lower income communities too. Like,
Right.
is what it is.
Right.
But I got another comment for you.
Okay.
Just another racist homophobe. You're not worthy enough to breathe the same breath that a guitarist whose solo recorded in 71 still relevant today. Maybe go back to reacting to turntable scratching.
Oh. Okay. Turntable scratching.
Does that feel a little?
It
little
doesn't
racist? Does that feel a little
I don't know,
racist?
because it's like, first of all, I never heard turntable scratching before this channel. I
You know,
never
like,
heard.
Wicked.
I've literally heard the sound, like people make that rick, chicken, rick, whatever. But I've never actually heard that, you know, Eric and Rakim and like the LL Cool J. Like, I never heard that music before this channel. So, like, that's an
Yeah,
assumption.
you
right
didn't
there.
grow up listening to hip hop at all.
No. So that's an assumption right there. And then, I don't know. But sometimes I feel like when people are hating, they're just kind of grabbing things out of thin air to throw at you that they think would be insulting.
Right. They're thinking that you're gonna think that
Like, they're trying to trigger you.
exactly. And
But
that's
then-
why we can't let them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because it's like, if you think of it, like, they're trying. Every word they're saying, they're trying to punch. Like, they're trying to hit you where it hurts.
Because they're having a bad day and they want you to have a bad day.
That's like
Hurt
a good...
people hurt people, and they love to spread their negativity.
They do. That's like a good recipe for, like, defending yourself against, like, online bullying, I
Yeah.
think. Just, like, framing it in your mind that they're the problem and not you. So everything they're coming at you with is, like, intended to hurt you, but they're actually hurting already. Like,
Yeah, it's a slippery slope though, because you want to still be open to like feedback,
constructive criticism.
constructive criticism. Like on our last podcast, people were saying the audio echoes.
Right.
We got it fixed,
We did.
but
Yeah.
we're just like, oh, they're haters, and then
Yeah. And then also it's like, you know, if we get in society, if we get to a place where like you can't really give constructive feedback, like people just stop doing it because people are too sensitive to actually like use it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Then how do we ever progress? Like, how do we ever make positive change outside of our awareness?
right.
If we're just constantly like, I don't want to say this because I want to hurt their feelings, so I'm just not going to say anything.
Oh,
Then it's like they're thinking these things about you, and they're like, let's say you got some food on your, you know, on your tooth, you got some bump on your lip or whatever, and I'm just like staring at it, but I'm not gonna say anything to you because I don't want to hurt your feelings. So I'm just gonna stare at it. I'm gonna know, dang, your lip messed up.
what are
know
you trying to say?
Literally nothing, but I'm saying,
I can feel chicken in my teeth.
I don't see any
Are you
chicken. in your
talking about? I literally have chicken in my. I can feel it.
teeth. Dang.
I just ate chicken.
When'd you eat
not
chicken?
that long ago.
Dang, what kind of chicken was it?
It was a chicken skewer, $3 skewers.
Ooh.
Yeah, I ate the last one.
Mm.
I thought you were talking about me.
Well, no. I was just thinking though. You know how like you see people and like they might have some and it's like you might not want to tell them. You know?
Yeah,
what
I know
mean?
what you mean though.
And it's like,
Got a little crust on the side of your mouth, or a little food. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
In my
it's like-
beard or something.
what if like that person's sitting there like, dang, I remember he had a crust roll the whole last time I talked to him for 30 minutes. I was staring at it, and it's like I don't know which is better for them to not say it to not hurt your feelings, or for them to say it and potentially hurt your feelings but actually improve you, like help you.
Ooh, I don't know. I guess I would want to be told,
Right? Me too. But I feel like
because
society's
eventually you're gonna find out. Be like, dang, I just did that whole job interview and had crap on my face.
right. But I feel like society's getting to a place where like it's not becoming acceptable to tell anyone anything negative, or else you're just straight out hating them. You know, you're just
Yeah,
like
you're bullying.
you're just which I think haters are doing online bullying. But then it's like there are some constructive things that we should be. You know what I mean? Like the filtering mechanism for deciding what's constructive and what's not is going to go away.
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fine line. Some stuff is
is.
super obvious. Like some of the comments we just read, super obviously just hating.
Right.
But then there's other comments we didn't read that's like, whoa, are they hating or is this constructive criticism?
Right. Like I saw a comment on the vlog today about my freckles getting out of hand. And it was like, sorry, I don't mean to be offensive, but like your freckles are getting out of hand. You got to do something about them or whatever. And I was thinking like, okay, on the one hand, it's kind of genetic. Like I get, you know what I mean? Like I always have had freckles. I think Jack's starting to get freckles on his nose. He barely goes outside like that. But then on the other hand, it's like, I should probably take sunscreen more seriously. You know what I mean?
Does that stop freckles?
I don't know. I think they've increased since we lived in Florida, but I don't know. I've always had nose freckles, you know? But it's like the filtering mechanism for like constructive feedback. It's like nowadays I could say they're just a bully. They're just trying to hurt me and totally throw it out the window. Or I could say I'm actually hurt by this. You know, I could actually take it in and be like super self-conscious about it. You know what I mean?
Why do people care about your freckles? Like they're not going to watch if you have too many freckles. That's just weird.
Right. But also, I guess maybe they have a lot of freckles. Maybe, you know, they associate it with skin cancer or something.
I just don't get it.
Like, maybe it's just, you know how, well, my mom's family's kind of like this, like kind of critical. Like just in an effort to help make you better, like help you improve yourself, just kind of like overly critical to where it's like, dang, why are you critiquing me all the time? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like some people are like that, but it's like their version of love. Like their version of like, looking out for you is being critical.
It's like in whatever culture they grew up in, they have a different social norm.
Yeah. Yeah. That's, I mean, literally my dad's side was opposite. My mom's
they're
side.
really loving.
Yeah. My mom's side is like literally they're very critical all the time. But
and not all of them.
No.
But there's a chunk.
There's a chunk. But it's like that was just the norm.
Because like the people your age are pretty chill.
Yeah,
well,
the people.
Somewhat close to your age.
Yeah. But like not the oldest, like the older generation is more critical. But I mean, I don't think it's done in an unloving way. I really think where they're coming from, like they're critical to themselves too, you know?
Well, it's kind of back to what, like you were saying, should you tell someone that they have food in their beard or a little, you know, chapped lip or something?
And it's like, they would want to know.
But your mom's side of the family's going to tell you.
Right. They would. They would, but then also if you tell them, I think it's kind of like expected. Like they would want to know. Like if you don't tell them, they're going to feel some type of way. Like, why didn't you tell me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of interesting. Or even like right now, I'm like playing with my feet. That is something I've always done. And I feel like people they criticize that. They think it's gross. But then like in a lot of cultures, people play with their feet. Like it's, you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. I guess it could, some of those hater comments that are not just completely deranged could be actually like more constructive criticism.
Yeah, I feel like I've learned from the haters too. Even like the Tupac comments from that. It's like, yeah, I think their opinions are a little extreme, but I've learned certain things people don't want to hear. It's
true.
like you're coming to a reaction channel, but you don't want just a raw reaction.
Because you love that song so much, you want to see other people who enjoy it.
Yeah.
Or who appreciate it at least.
And so I just tried to limit. You like if a song's about an opinion, their opinion, and my opinion's a complete opposite, I could just be curious about their opinion. I don't have to say, "Ooh, I don't like their opinion. This is my opinion."
Right. And
but I used to do it like that. But then now I could just be curious about why their opinion is what it is.
Like that's interesting actually, because like to be genuinely curious, I think is
which I am.
Right. But it's like, I had to get there. Like, I used to have sort of like, this is this and that is that. And like, you know what I mean? I just had sort of like, I like this and I don't like this and this is who I am. And then you get exposed to a whole lot of new stuff, a whole lot more people and experiences. And it's like, dang.
See, I wasn't genuinely curious about different kind of music in the beginning. But I've always been curious about ideas. Like, I would love to interview someone who thought completely opposite of me. Like in all the core beliefs, the major stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like that sounds so interesting to me.
Oh.
To sit down with someone who has the same core beliefs as me and interview them, it's like, what is this, an echo chamber? Like that sounds boring.
I would love that. But man, it's like, I've thought about that, but it's like, who could you realistically get to sit there and like they wouldn't be triggered by what you think? And you know what I mean? Like that's hard to find.
Well, that's why I don't really like sharing my opinion all that much.
Right.
And like I share my opinion a lot less now.
Because people don't want to hear it.
Exactly.
But it's like, man.
It's like I'm not about to hype up a song either, though.
Yeah.
It's like if the lyrics kind of perturb me in a sense, like, ooh, that just built a little different than that.
Right.
I'm not going to gas this song up, but I'm also
Right.
not going to deliver my opinion.
Yeah,
You
like
know
you're
what I
not
mean?
gonna poop on it.
Yeah, I'm not going
Yeah.
to take a dump on their opinion. And I used to do that.
Yeah.
Be like, dang, you think that? Like, I think with Tupac, I was like, dang, what is he, a socialist or something?
Yeah, yeah.
I think I said something like that to piss people
Yeah.
off.
Or sometimes.
And so now I just
yeah.
won't bite my tongue.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably for the best, but then it's like, dang, you know, I always think about like how close can humans, close are we capable of becoming with one another? Like how real can you be before the person's like, I don't want to hang out with you anymore. I don't like you anymore. I don't trust you. You know what I mean? Like how authentic can you be?
Oh, that's a good question. I never thought about that. How authentic can you be without turning people off, basically? Oh, if we had to put it in a percentage,
Yeah.
I'm going to say like 60%.
60%?
60.
Okay, so with a stranger versus like your closest, like you and me, like what range would you say? Like it's never going to be 100%. It's never going to be
I
100.
think 95.
95?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With you? Probably like
Yeah.
95.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's
we're
say-
pretty close, but I feel like, even like, would you call some, what were you going to say? You were going to say
I
something.
was going to say, like with you, 95, it's still not going to be 100. Because
Yeah.
certain things you don't want to hear
Right.
that I might say if I'm with my boys or something.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
And
know
so-
what you mean.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, you might not want to hear it, but it's like my
Right.
authentic self. I might say some stuff, okay?
But then also it's like the other stuff you won't say with them that you would say with me. It's like that percentage shifts around to where
it
it's still
does.
less, even though there's other stuff. You know what I mean?
Some stuff is just better left unsaid. Just because you thought it doesn't mean you need to say it, no matter
Yeah.
who you're with.
Well, see, and I grew up in a family where we just kind of said everything.
Yes.
And it's kind of, in theory, that would be a good practice. Like, you can tell me everything, da da da. But, like, it's kind of fallen apart in a way. Like, it kind of turned into a lot of, like, conflict and stuff as we got older. Because,
Well, some of those things that like, you were told you could say anything, they would be used against you.
yeah. Or I would say things that, like, you probably just shouldn't say. You know what I mean? Like, you probably, like, sure, it may be true and it may, you know, be helpful, but in reality, we all have things we're going through, and maybe I just shouldn't have said some things. You know?
Yeah.
Like, maybe I shouldn't even think some things.
No, you could think whatever.
Right? But maybe you can feel incorrectly about things. Like, maybe you can, like, feel, you know,
But it's okay to feel incorrectly.
it is. That is okay. But it's like, I can expect someone to have a response to that. Like, I can expect if I'm, you know, judging someone and just like saying, just blurting out my judgment, then it's like, yeah, they're not going to like that.
Yeah.
I can expect them to like me more and be gentle towards me, but then I can be harsh towards them, you know?
Yeah, but I guess that's just kind of how you were raised.
Right? I don't know. I think it's kind of weird. Like,
Like the social norm in your family was much different than my family.
oh, way different. Completely polar.
Two different universes.
That's why we're so different, probably.
Yeah,
But then how are we so, like, fascinated to tolerate and listen to each other? Like,
because we're so different. It's interesting. There's never a dull day.
but then that's like the beauty of being different from one another then. Like, why online, in theory, why couldn't we all just be more curious and less,
There's so many hot button issues
especially modern day?
that are viewed kind of as life and death. Like if someone believes differently, and people view it almost as if you're trying to like kill their freedoms, kill them. I don't even.
It's like
wanna
critical.
talk about those.
But I get it because it's like critical to, that's how I felt. That's what I was saying about like before. I was just very, I'm this and I like this and I don't like this. Like particularly with like emo and goth type music, I was just like, even country, I was just like, I don't like that. You know what I mean? And I didn't know much about it. I hadn't listened to enough of, you know what I mean? I feel like you can't even really say that until you listen to 100 songs or something. Like, it's like I should have been more curious instead of just like, like
Yeah.
that's a negative for me, you know?
Yeah.
Because then that makes me wonder, where do you get your initial interests and non-interests from,
Exposure.
right?
That's what I've learned. If you're exposed to a certain type of music enough, you're going to develop some kind of ear for it. You may not love it, but you'll at least be able to like, oh yeah, I can listen to that. If that was on at a restaurant, it's not going to kill my vibe. Like sometimes if a restaurant plays certain types of music, I'd be like, this restaurant sucks. Yeah, I'll still eat the
Right.
food, but it's like, why are they killing the vibe?
Yeah, that's so, I can think of a restaurant here in Tampa that we love the food.
The crab one?
No, not the crab one. Well, the crab one too, actually. But no, I was thinking the one with the mac and cheese balls.
I don't know.
And they twerk.
Oh, yeah.
And we love the food.
You want to say the name of it, or are you trying to not say it?
I don't know. Well, we could say it, right?
Okay, well, what was it?
What was that place?
I don't know. I forgot the name.
Sugar Factory.
Sugar Factory, yeah.
And it was like they were twerking and they were like, yes, honey. They were just like super, super ghetto and lit, you know?
It was like hip-hop club music.
It was like hip-hop club music, and they were just a lot, you know? It was just a lot. But the food was delicious.
Yeah, but that atmosphere kind of took away to where like we may not go.
Right? Like it was like 4 stars for me because of that, you know?
Yeah.
It's like it took away a whole star.
At least,
if not 3 stars. But it was pretty tasty. It was really good, you know?
Yeah. But I was saying it's like, when you're exposed enough, then that experience you're talking about, the restaurant experience.
Then that's a great experience.
Not great, but I'm saying it doesn't take away. The music won't take away. But what you're talking about is more than just music. Because they were like dancing and they were going crazy.
It's a lot. Sometimes you just want to eat food.
Right. I meant just like the background music. If there was a genre I didn't like or wasn't familiar with, I'd be like, this music, restaurant's playing country. What?
Really?
Yeah.
See, that is one that like is phenomenal to me. Like I would go to like Texas Roadhouse or something. If they're playing country, it doesn't bother me. I don't know what they're.
Because it's the whole vibe of the restaurant. It's the vibe.
It's like congruent with the vibe. So like, you know, you're going like Texas, you know?
Right.
But yeah, that's interesting. Like, yeah, if I went to like a lounge that was Halloweeny and like a Halloween superstore and they're playing like some kind of goth type music, I'm not going to be perturbed by it.
Dang, but if it came on the radio.
Yeah, interesting. Ooh, that's interesting to think about. Set and setting.
Yeah, it matters.
It matters.
How you're introduced to music matters.
Dang.
The mood you're in when you're introduced matters.
I wonder what Jack will be like because we're so exposed now, I feel like he's not going to have like one dominant type of music that's played around the house.
Right.
It's going to be a lot of different stuff. Yeah.
His exposure is going to be insane to music. And he's going to hear it all.
Everything, yeah.
But you know how it is. Like, you hate your parents' music.
What if he hates music in general? What if he's like, I hate instruments? Dang.
Could be. Like, that's still, to this day, one of the genres I struggle with the most. Like, in the last podcast, people asked, well, what genres do you not understand yet?
Oh, yeah.
The stuff my parents played.
Oh.
This is just so deeply ingrained in me. It's like, you know,
really?
I want to rebel. Yeah.
You know, honestly, I feel the opposite. It's grown on me. Like, my mom's funk. Oh, my gosh. Or, like, Cameo. Word up and the what's a word. Like, it's just... Like, you listen to something on your stream tonight that was like my mom's music, and honestly, like I'm okay with it now. I'm okay with it now.
Yeah, funk is one that I still don't fully understand. I just think back to just like childhood, and I don't know.
Right? Loverboy music.
Oh no, that's like R&B.
Right, R&B for you.
I used to listen to R&B, but I meant parents' music.
Okay, so like
funk.
Oh, funk was your parents' music? Like, that was your parents' music?
That's
I
like
thought
the stuff
R&B.
they listen to.
Oh, dang. Yeah, and it hasn't grown on you.
I mean, a little. Like, it's more listen-toable.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as it was. Like, remember my we want the funk, or got the funk? Gotta have that funk. Remember? I was like, I get it. You want the funk.
Yeah. I remember that. Or like, dibber, that double Dutch. That one or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, it's grown on me. Like, I think it's weird, but I think it's a little charming because it's a little more innocent than music modern day. You know?
Another genre I don't get, grunge.
You don't?
I like some grunge songs.
Uh-huh.
Like mega Nirvana bangers. Like those are cool.
You don't get the like yarling or whatever.
Yeah, I don't get that.
You don't.
Nope.
It's dirty music. You got to get in your haven't showered in a couple of weeks. Long, greasy hair.
I have never gone weeks without showering.
Well, you got to get in that bag. You know? You got to get in that bag. I feel like it's like that, but maybe you just ate sushi. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you eat sushi, but you're like kind of dirty, kind of oily, kind of smelly. You know what I mean? It's a specific place, but I like it. I like grunge.
I like some grunge songs. In every genre, there's songs like, dang, this is a good song.
Yeah.
You know? But
Yeah.
overall as a genre, that's one I struggle to understand, the grunge one.
You know what has grown on me?
What?
Your females. How you get into like what is that, Natty Dread, and you get into like those Nordic like like Dolores and
Tori Amos. Oh, you're talking about the Nordic stuff?
Bjork. Yeah, any of those sounds, like the female ethereal, that's grown on me because I used to only really like female soul sounds. Even like Taylor Swift, like even more like poppy female stuff. It's all grown on me.
See, I grew up with more of the soul sound, but I kind of gravitated away from that.
Yeah, I could see that.
To the more high pitched kind of mystical sound and
like
fairy sound.
Less like I'm a woman and I worked hard and can handle it on my own, and more like I'm taken care of and life is peachy and I love my boyfriend.
Yeah, I'm happy.
I can see that. Well, it's grown on me. I like both now. You know what hasn't though?
What?
That Weezer type punk type.
Oh, the nasally.
That's off pitch.
People
like
told me Weezer's not really nasally, but I get what you're talking about. Like that.
Yeah, I like Weezer actually. I don't know why I said Weezer, but like that off key, like awkward singing.
I know what you're talking about.
That has not grown on me.
We got to play it more around the house.
That's why I'm like, we got to play more grunge.
Okay.
But honestly, it might work because remember Cemetery Gates grew on and you started like belting it in the car.
I don't know. I love Cemetery Gates now.
Yeah. So literally, if we expose ourselves more, we might eventually like those.
What is the end goal here?
Well, for
when
real.
When have we had enough exposure to music?
The end goal for real? I have a goal for sure. Yeah. My end goal is to like everything. Like genuinely. You know? Yeah. Like, not like, oh, I'm going to pretend to like it so I can get people to like this video.
Right.
But like, I genuinely want to understand what makes you like it. And I want to be in the vibes. You know what I'm saying?
I do love being able to listen to so many more genres. I feel like I can relate to so many more people.
Right.
It's like I can have a whole different kind of friendship situation now.
Right. And it's like, when you think about it, it's like, that's just more stuff to make you happy.
Yeah.
Like if every type of, like you hear a country song, you love it. You hear a punk song, you love it. Like you hear old school rock, new school rock, you hear Dio, whatever, and you love all of it, then like you're just gonna love more stuff.
Yeah. And like, how could you have a friend where you guys couldn't even ride in a car and play some music? Because you guys don't like any of the same stuff. Like this person hates hip hop and this other person hates rock. Or you know what I'm saying? All the genres that you like.
Right.
They don't line up. Like how do you even go somewhere together?
Right.
What do you play in the car? What radio station?
But then like, so that makes me wonder, like back in the day, were people just more curious and less judgmental? Or was it not like that? I don't know.
What are you talking about, during segregation? Or what? How far back are we going?
Judgmental, like, I guess not so. But I mean, just in general, I don't know. It seems like maybe humans were never like that. But it seems like people are not that curious modern day. Like as far as, it seems like we act like we're curious. You know what I mean? Like we're curious, you know what I'm saying? But we're not like genuinely like, you're totally opposite of me and that's okay. And I like that. And I want to be around it more. And I want you to rub off on me. And
we're
I want
living
me
in
to rub off
some
on you.
weird times, okay? I think people feel validated by other people who have the same opinions of them.
Right? But then is that abnormal or has that how it's always been? Like,
I don't know.
Right? I don't know either.
It may just be a human tendency.
But I mean, I don't know because like, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like when a genre is new, so many more people are like open to it and into it, and whether it's because it's rebellious or whether it's because it's hot and new and fresh or they actually like it, or you know what I mean. And now it's like, well, you kind of just like what you're exposed to and you kind of dig deeper in that same.
Yeah, I feel like it's probably always been like that now that I think about it.
Right.
Because I mean, relationships are about relating. So you need something that you relate on to have a relationship.
Then, like us, we're so opposite.
But we also have a lot of stuff in common.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's the weird thing about us, even the things we have in common, we approach it from completely different angles.
Totally different. Like, wasn't there something the other day where, like, I forget what it was, something in the kitchen or something? You, like, we use, like, a water kettle to boil little, like, bottles. And, like, I put the bottles in first, then I add the water. You put the water, then add the bottles.
Yes,
like, everything we do.
Everything like that.
Everything. I mean, even, like, how we tie our shoes. I double knot mine. You leave yours unzipped and Velcro.
I don't tie them.
Yeah.
I put knots in them so the strings don't get pulled out too far, and I don't tie them.
We couldn't make this up. I couldn't find a more opposite person if I tried. You know?
But we still have a lot in common. That's the crazy thing. What if it's like you have something in common with everybody on earth? Something in common. Therefore, you could relate to anyone.
Ooh.
And so we shouldn't let the differences keep us apart.
Yeah.
When there's something we have in common, what if we focused on what we had in common and didn't focus on what like the differences we had?
Yeah, like what if you're more, it's like glass half empty versus half full. Like you're just more interested in what you have in common than what you don't agree on.
Yeah.
But then what if the things you don't agree on are more consequential? Like they're more important.
And what if they are? So then what? I mean, what are you supposed to do?
I mean, true,
because
it's like,
someone?
And that other person's opinion might not necessarily be consequential to your life, even if, you know what I mean? Like it might not actually affect you directly.
Okay, so hear me out.
Okay.
One of the most consequential things is politics, right?
Okay.
So what if you have a friend, you guys disagree politically, but you get along musically, you guys are into the same, leisurely activities, you like to go boating or whatever you do.
You're like besties other than that.
Yeah. And then so what are you supposed to do? Not be friends with them because politically you guys are the opposite. But what if you guys stayed friends and then you might rub off on that person? And what if they're inspired by how they see you acting and how you explain stuff?
I think, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
If you just cut them off, there's a guarantee that you're never going to be able to rub off on them.
Right.
Like people rub off on each other. So you might as well stay friends because then there's a chance you may rub off without even being pushy. You just might rub off.
But then I think the fear is that they'll rub off on you.
And then maybe that's a good thing. Unless all your beliefs are 100% correct. They're the best beliefs in the world. Maybe you need to be rubbed off on.
Oh.
You know
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
A little spicy.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Is there anyone who all their beliefs are just perfect? You should have all the same beliefs from now until you die because your beliefs are just the best.
Yeah.
So maybe you should have some friends with some different beliefs.
Yeah, man. I feel like my mind, ever since listening to music, my mind is like, it's been peeled open like a freaking, like a pineapple that's perfectly, like, pineapples when they're all like diced and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like my brain is just peeled more open than, like, it's just like, whoo. Because, I mean, I don't know. It's like the first time in life where I'm just like, I actually feel like I don't know anything, like hardly anything,
Yeah.
Like what I know to be true is like very little. It's kind of flexible in a way,
Yeah.
What you say like that?
I don't know.
I mean, it's just, I don't know. I guess it's like I'm more curious than ever. And I feel like curiosity outweighs judgment. Like it kind of takes the place of judgment. Right. So like the less judgments I have about things, the more I'm curious, like, oh, well, why do they like this? Or why do they talk about this topic?
And then on the other hand, you know more now than you ever knew before.
Yeah. Which is bizarre to think about, actually. Because I feel like I know less. But yeah, you're right. You're right.
You're just aware of more.
Ooh. The awareness growing has like shrunken my conception of myself within that huge awareness.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's really strange to think about.
It's like if you're 100 pounds and you're only aware of 1,000 pounds existing.
Yeah.
But now you're aware of 1,000,000 tons existing and you're still 100 pounds.
It's hard to conceive of that much.
And you feel smaller.
Yeah. Today I felt like such a weirdo, but you know what I was looking up?
What?
Military PTSD.
Okay, what's wrong with that? You've looked it up before.
But not just like war video, like not like in like those things. I mean like literally like firsthand PTSD, what happens in the mind? Like what are people experiencing when they're having like triggers?
I remember years ago you were telling me that a lot of vets would do ayahuasca stuff to help with that. And so I know you've looked this topic up before. Yeah,
okay. So today though, it felt different because the angle I was approaching was different.
Today you weren't looking at ayahuasca stuff.
Yeah, and today I wasn't, like usually I would look at like there's like a TikTok account and it's called like Historical Archives, but it's basically a bunch of real wartime footage from like the 70s or like and it'll be like black and white footage sometimes and people in Afghanistan. But this time I was looking up like PTSD, like what the person is going through psychologically when they have a bad day. And it's fascinating to me. I'm like, this is kind of weird. I would never ask someone who's going through this, like, oh, what's your day been? Like, what is it like when you have a bad day? But also, like, what if society was okay with that? Like, what if it got to a point where, like, that person doesn't have to hold it in? They can actually share and talk about it. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Okay. I got a question for you that's related to this.
Okay.
How fast do you think human nature could change?
Slow.
Well, because you're saying, what if society got to a point where it's like, it's okay to, turn it upside down on its head and change all the social norms? How fast could that change take place?
I think super slow. I mean, I would say, sure, overnight if we all agreed, but...
But would we just be agreeing, or would we really be on board?
Right. And then also it's like, just because I wouldn't agree doesn't mean someone else wants to agree to that. So it's like, probably forever. Probably take a long time.
Yeah.
But
so then there's the answer to your question.
But then it's like,
probably not going to happen.
What if we had like a group that was like, okay, in this group, this is okay.
I think that happens. That's like Alcoholics Anonymous. You talk about things in there you probably don't talk about to a random person you meet.
Yeah. It's like you have to find your people, basically.
Yep.
That's true. Man, fascinating. Fascinating. Yeah, I still don't understand the mindset of the hater, but I suppose I can be curious about it.